I'd love to hear from y'all. I'm sorry, I have this hair that's like, it's right in my eyeball and it's very uncomfortable. Hey mamas, I'm Lori. Today I wanted to share with you about my experience with gestational diabetes. You may be someone who maybe you're pregnant now and you're going to get tested for it, or you may just love me and you just wanted to support me while watching this video. I really appreciate you too. So anyways, I wanted to share with you a few things that I learned while I was having gestational diabetes. And just obviously, I'm not a medical professional at all, okay? Like, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor. I am just sharing with you my experience as a mom who has had gestational diabetes twice, okay? So here we go. The first thing that I actually learned from having gestational diabetes is, and this is really, really important, okay? I learned that, it's not your fault. Don't beat yourself up about it. I have talked with lots of women who they ate like super healthy. They had, they did their vegetables and their fish and, their chicken, all they totally opposite of how I ate. They ate awesomely and yet they still got gestational diabetes. So, you can eat like crap and get it. You can eat really healthily and get it. I've met lots of people who they eat like crap and they didn't get it. So don't beat yourself up if you do get gestational diabetes. For me, I was able to be diet controlled. I'm really thankful for that. And if you have to go on insulin, again, it's not your fault. You just do what you can to protect you and your baby. Okay. So I just wanted to encourage you with that. The second thing that I learned is that just because you have it one time doesn't mean you're going to get gestational diabetes again. So I was terrified that I was going to get it the second time when I got pregnant with my second son, Alex. I was shocked, honestly, that I didn't get it. And it wasn't that I was, eating so badly or anything. I actually was eating really, really healthily, but because I had it the first time, I guess I just assumed that I was probably going to get it the second time. And so I didn't. I had gestational diabetes with my first, but I didn't with my second, and then I did have it with my third. So, just because you get it one time doesn't mean you're going to get it again. It doesn't mean you won't either, but I don't know that they necessarily go together. Maybe there's a higher chance of you getting it. I don't know, the studies on that or anything, but it's obviously not 100% certain. So don't worry yourself to death over it. And then the third thing that I learned, and this was a big one for me, was that honestly, I thought that I was going to feel just so awesome after I started eating better, because that's what they tell you, right? When you start eating healthy, your body will just thank you for it and you'll have all of this wonderful energy. Well, that wasn't exactly what happened right away. For the first couple of weeks, I felt like total crap because I did not take into account the fact that my body was heavily addicted to carbs and sugar, and it was kind of freaking out a bit and it was not happy with me. So I was so tired and just felt kind of like crap the first couple of weeks. I didn't realize honestly how addicted to sugar that I really was. Let me tell you guys, there was one day that I picked up some donuts for my son, and I had no intention of eating it. I was not going to eat it. I didn't eat it. I was very proud of myself. I just want to say it right now, I did not eat the donut. But I bought the donuts and I just opened the bag just to get him his donuts out. And the second that I opened the bag, it was the smell of sugar just hit my nose. And it was I almost turned into the donut monster. It was just, it took everything within me not to devour every single donut in that bag. I had to walk away. That's how bad it was. I had to walk away from the bag. I was oh my gosh, that was the first time, I will say I fully understood addiction in that moment because it was strong. I did not realize just how much food just in general even kind of controlled my life too. That was a hard realization for me. I believe, first of all, that food is meant to be enjoyed. I think it's great when families eat together. I really try to do that with my family, to have us eating around the table together. I love that. I think it's just important. But what I noticed is that my emotions were heavily affected by food or lack of being able to have certain food. At Christmas time when I was making Christmas cookies with my kids, I was like depressed that I couldn't have any. You know, it was like kind of stole Christmas for me. And Christmas is my favorite time of year. But a big part of that is being able to like eat all the goodies and watch all the Christmas movies. And so I've definitely had to learn like, okay, I can't let my life or my feelings or whatever be controlled by food. Like maybe that's not super healthy. So anyway, that was just kind of an interesting thing that I personally learned for me that I just kind of wanted to share with you guys. And then the last thing that I realized was that, okay, first of all, let me say this. I always try to kind of look at things like a little bit positively if I can, right? Like it's kind of like when you get a stomach bug. This is awful. This is probably like the worst example ever, but I'm going to use it. It's kind of like when you get a stomach bug and, you know, you're kind of, everything's coming out at both ends. You know what I'm talking about? And it's awful. It's terrible, right? Like you're puking, you've got diarrhea like for like 2 days or whatever. The positive side of that, I don't know if anybody else thinks this, but the positive side of that is I'm like, okay, well, you know, this is definitely going to like kickstart my diet I've been wanting to be on. I try to look at it from a positive. I don't want the stomach bug. I didn't want it. I'll do everything I can to like try to not get those things. But if I do, I try to at least see the positive side of it. And I guess for gestational diabetes, the positive side for me in that was that it helped me kind of maintain or manage, I should say, my pregnancy weight a little bit better, or maybe even a lot better, honestly, because if I had been eating chicken and dumplings every single day like I really wanted to for my entire pregnancy, I don't think that would have been good. Anyways, I'd love to hear from you. If you have had gestational diabetes, did you have it? Like if you've had multiple pregnancies, did you have it with all of your pregnancies? And what would you say was the hardest thing about having gestational diabetes? I mean, for me, I just crave sugar like all the time, obviously. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to stay updated on brand new videos from me. And I've considered doing a what I eat in a day or what I eat in a day kind of like gestational diabetes edition. So if you'd like to see that, because I know I would have really appreciated that when I had gestational diabetes, to be able to kind of see some of those things, snacks that maybe, you know, people ate and different meals and things like that. I'd be happy to make a video for you. So just let me know. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing day, Mama. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.